Welcome back. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, depending on where you are following the 18th Chopin competition here in Warsaw. I'm Alessandro Tommasi.
I'm Rachel NAOMI KUDO, and we have four wonderful young pianists with us. Thank you so much for being here. Could you please introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is EVA GEVORGYAN. I'm 17, I'm from Moscow, and I study in Central Music School by Moscow Conservatory.
Hello, I'm Eric GUO. I'm 19 years old, from Toronto, Canada, and I study at the Glen Gould School of the Royal Conservatory in Toronto, Canada.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Guo. I'm 20 years old from New York, and I study at the Juilliard School.
Hi, my name is YIFAN HOU. I'm 17 years old and I'm from China.
So, we tend to do the same question to everybody every time we start this Chopin talk of ours. And it is, which is the first memory, the first impression you've had of Chopin's music? So also the first time you played his music, for example. So we can start with you, Yifan. Which is your first memory of Chopin's music? Of course. We have our dear Vital here translating for us.
其实第一次弹肖邦的时候，我已经有点记不清了，因为对于每一个学钢琴的人来说，肖邦都是必须要弹的曲子。我觉得我第一次接触他的曲目应该是练习曲，我记得是 OP25的第7首还是第8首，当时我觉得那首曲子非常好听，然后我就决定想要，所以肖邦变成了我最喜欢的一个作曲家。
Actually, I don't remember the first time I played the Chopin, because for every young pianist it is a very important composer, of course. I remember the first pieces I've heard of Chopin were probably Etudes, Opus 25, numbers 7 or 8.
非常好听。
And I remember I really enjoyed them. They were very beautiful, and I decided to play more of Chopin from them.
Thank you. What about you, Chelsea?
I think the first time I encountered Chopin's music was at a very young age. My deepest impression, I think, was learning a waltz. I think the A minor waltz. And I remember, I think it was the first time that music made me cry. That was something that was very impactful for me. And I mean, ever since then, it's been an emotional journey with Chopin.
Well, the first time I encountered Chopin's music was maybe when I was very young. I already loved Chopin because I felt it was, at that time, I felt it was very romantic. And then my very first piece was the Nocturne, very famous E-flat, Opus 9, number 2. And I played it for an audition for my previous teacher in Toronto, and for a lesson, auditioning for a lesson. And that time, I mean, I was really terrible. So like, I sight read it, the Nocturne, and then after he just playing a few seconds, he stopped and asked, "Why do you like Chopin?" And I said, "Because it's romantic." And then he accepted me for
it's
the
a fantastic story.
lessons. Yeah.
I think my very first piece was Fantasy Impromptu, because many children played it at school, and my teacher gave me this piece. And I remember when I started to play this piece, I just felt that it will be my favorite composer for the whole my life, because I really felt something when I played it. And after that, I started to learn more Chopin.
Is it still your favorite composer?
Yes.
Would you say that?
Yes.
Well, we were talking about this before, but all four of you are among our youngest pianists here, and we were wondering, what is the secret to understanding and playing Chopin at such a young age? I mean, is it the food, or could you tell us? I mean, for you, when you played the Fantasy Impromptu, it must have been pretty recently because you're still only 17, right, Eva?
Yes, but when I play Chopin, I feel really natural, and I'm really happy that I could come to Poland and to play in front of such a warm public and such a great jury. So for me, it's just an amazing experience just to play here.
What about you, Eric? Do you feel something special here being in Poland?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really hard to describe, but really, absolutely fantastic hall and piano, and to be able to perform, to play in Warsaw, in the homeland of Chopin, is a true honor. So I really feel, of course, everyone is so kind and passionate about music. So really great to play here.
Yeah, definitely. This passion for music actually is really clear. I mean, you can feel it not only in the hall but also outside. Chelsea, did you have the opportunity to see a little bit of Warsaw, maybe also before with the preliminary round, or now in these days, if you have a couple extra hours in the day?
You know, I don't think I've explored Warsaw as much as I would have liked to. I've seen the old town. Of course, I've made the trek to the church where Chopin's heart is. But of course, I think it's been too short of a time to really know the city inside and out. So I'd like to, though. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And Yifan, what about you? How is it for you to be here in Poland?
我觉得波兰的气氛对我弹肖邦非常有帮助，因为有一些曲子我在国内可能不是非常能找得到感觉，但是来到波兰了以后，就可能是因为这里的风土人情，就是会很自然的就找到这个曲子该怎么弹。
Being in Poland is very important for me because for some pieces, when I was in China, I couldn't really feel the meaning of them. But while being here in Poland, maybe it's the atmosphere, maybe it's the people, it lets me find this feeling.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's really beautiful.
Definitely. Yifan, since you're also so young, was this the first time you went outside China for like a big concert tour or a competition?
No.我第一次出国参加比赛是2019年去保加利亚参加一个比赛。那次我弹的是肖邦协奏曲第一首。
Actually, the first time I went abroad for a concert was in 2019. I went to Bulgaria, and during that concert, I also played Chopin.
Oh, I'm sorry. 不好意思，我记错了，因为我第一次出国参加比赛也是来波兰，但是不是来华沙，我是参加了2019年在沙法尼亚举行的小肖邦比赛。
I remember wrong. The first time I went abroad for a competition was also in 2019. I came to Poland, and I took part in the Szafarnia, in a Chopin competition in
I also
Szafarnia.
took part there.
Okay.
The very same year in 20...
No, I was 10 years old, so 7 years later.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, and actually, we were thinking, of course, you're so young, and Eva, you did also a couple young artist competitions. So, for example, you won the Cleveland, and today we had actually Martin Garcia that actually won the senior, we could say, Cleveland as our guest at the Chopin Talk. And I wanted to ask you, did these also young competitions helped you in building repertoire and also the strength to face such a big and important competition here?
Yes, of course. I think it was really important for me to play many times in competitions, even for children. But it's a big competition, so I should get prepared. And of course, it's so exciting for me. It's my first adult competition.
Okay.
And we were discussing before, so I think all 4 of you are here with a parent.
Yeah.
Is that true? And I'm curious, how is that relationship? Is it, I mean, I'm sure it's very supportive, but do you ask for feedback? You know, do they help you with your piano playing or maybe logistics? Or Alessandro was mentioning how, Eric, your mom was fixing your hair.
Yes, there is a picture of that.
How do you feel, Eva?
My mom also fixing my hair because it's too long. Yeah, my mom helped me a lot when I was a bit younger. And now sometimes, of course, we get like a little bit fighting.
Okay.
when
About
it-
what?
About my piano
Oh,
playing.
really? So is she a
Yes.
musician? Is she a pianist?
Yes, she plays
she is.
viola.
Viola.
Yes, but she supports me very much. Of course, it's important, especially for young participants like us.
Eric, what about you? Is your mom a pianist? Or?
No.
No.
Well, no, she's not a musician at all.
Okay.
But of course, she again supports, fully supports, and really grateful for her as well. And but she doesn't have, as she's not a musician, but she knows some kind of what is expected. So sometimes she says that, and I already know that my playing is not good. So she says that maybe it's not good enough, but it's nothing so harsh. And sometimes I already know what I played like before playing and after playing. But so I think, yeah, that's.
She has like an instinct, no? She has.
Yeah. What I also wanted to say is that we kind of also fight a little bit, but mainly I have my own instinct, so she doesn't have much to say, but so it's mainly to do what I feel, and yeah.
Yeah, and
Chelsea,
of
what
course, yes.
No,
It's,
sorry,
it's such a big help. I mean, this is such a long competition, so you're going to stay here for a while, and which really means that you kind of use some help here and there with stuff. Sorry, Chelsea.
I think having my mom here is a huge, mainly emotional support more than anything else. We realized she has an incredible ear, and she's not a musician, but she has a great instinct and a great ear. But we realized from a very young age that our relationship would not work very well if she were to comment on. So she ever since I was like 8 years old, she stopped sitting in my practice, and she was like, okay, you're on your own, you do that. And I said, Mom, I just need you to pray with me. I just need you to smile when I'm done, and I need you to maybe help me iron my dress. And I need you to be here. I just need your presence to be here. So yeah, that's our kind of bond.
Of course. And of course, when and if you will have some time, it's also nice to walk around the city with somebody.
Yeah. Or discover new places to eat, or go take a look at the local shops and boutiques, and it's nice.
Speaking about food, did you find some nice place to eat around Warsaw?
I actually haven't tried an abundance of Polish food yet. I have tried quite a bit of Vietnamese food because I heard that there's quite a big Vietnamese community here in Warsaw, and so far I actually think it's very good, incredible. So I've been loving that.
Yeah, I still have to try the Vietnamese food. We don't really have much time to eat during the competition. So, but everybody is speaking about this fantastic Vietnamese food in Warsaw. So it's something that we really
should try.
We should try.
We have time.
we will have time at a certain moment. I'm sure.
Yeah. And Yifan, what about you? You're here with your mother? Are you here with your mom also?
Yeah.
Is she a musician?
不是，他不是音乐家。我觉得他来，当然非常重要的一点就是他会帮我搞头发，我的头发都是他搞的。然后呢，他 从我很小的时候就不管我练琴了，就不陪我练琴了。我从12岁开始，基本上都是自己一个人练琴。我觉得他来对我最重要的一点就是，并不是说他可以指导我让我怎么去弹，而是说，当然他可以照顾我的饮食起居，还有就是他一直告诉我，这只是一个比赛而已，没关系，不管怎么样，不管弹成什么样子，他都会一直支持我。所以我觉得这对我的心态来说也是很重要的。
So, no, my mom is not a musician, but she helps me a lot, especially with my hair. The hairstyle is actually made by her. She hasn't really played a very active role in development as a musician, as a pianist, and she doesn't give ideas or how to play or what to play. But she has always been a great support, especially during this competition, by telling me that this is only a competition. You don't have to worry too much. Just do your thing and do your best. And I think that is very important.
Yeah, definitely. That's also something that I would love to ask you. How do you manage also the stress of such a big competition? And also, you're so young. So, of course, all of you did many competitions before, but you have not done a whole round of all the Tchaikovsky, Van Cliburn, and all the others. So this is also one of the major, really, competitions that you face. And starting with you, Eric, how is it? How is it to manage this stress, and how is it to go on the stage and play in front of this audience?
For sure, it is stressful, but I try to cope with it by just thinking a little bit like Yifan saying that to not think too much about it. It's just competition. It's not, shouldn't worry too much and not think about the results or, what you'll get, but instead just focus on music. I try to do is, and many others I've heard from being told by many musicians that just enjoy the music, enjoy the stage, especially in this beautiful hall. It's just remarkable experience, and play from your heart. That's the most important thing as well. Just to touch as many people as you can.
And did you manage to enjoy making music here?
Yes, absolutely. I've tried to.
Yes.
Not maybe, despite making a few mistakes, I feel it's always that it could be more precise and perfect, but I felt that I tried to enjoy as much as I can and do my best and play from my heart.
That's beautiful.
What about you, Eva? How did you feel with your performance?
Of course, I was so nervous before because it's my first. I think the first round is the most stressful because you go to the stage for the first time. But when I went to the stage and saw the faces of public, which are waiting for the great music by Chopin, I was so exciting, and I felt really happy to play here. I just thought about music, and I also wanted just to touch people, and I hope I did it.
That's beautiful. I'm sure you did. What about you, Chelsea?
I feel like it definitely can be stressful. I think there can be a lot of fear associated with this kind of setting. But my reminder is like, I've been brought here, God brought me here, and even if this is it, even if the first round is it, I'm so thankful to be here and to play beautiful music for people who love it and for people who love it enough to sit through so many days and hours of it. I mean that's so admirable, and to be one of the contributors to that music, I think, is just a privilege.
Yeah, it is really. And you mentioned about sitting so many hours. Actually, I've been following all your competitors from the hall, and there are always somebody seated close to me that actually is doing the entire competition like me, but they are not journalists. They're just normal people that really love so much, and they're doing 10 hours a day of
Yes.
Chopin non-stop, and they never look at the phone, they never read, and they just stare at the stage, and they really want to listen to that. So I think that is fantastic. But speaking about the audience in the hall, I also was curious about the audience at home, because this is a competition that actually manages to reach a lot of people also at home. We are live right now in this moment, of course, and I wanted to ask you, Chelsea, how is it to also be able to share your performance here in Warsaw with your friends, with your family, everybody that has not been able to come here?
I think I found that there are more people than I realized that are, first of all, not just invested in my performance, but invested in this competition and also the music more than I thought. And I think, again, it just feels like such a privilege that I get to be part of that whole experience for them. And it means the world to me that I get to be here and that they are interested and that they care. And yeah, that's it.
It's fantastic. Yifan, what about you?
我觉得对我来说，演出前最紧张的时候并不是演出的时候，并不是弹的时候，是上台前的10分钟到弹奏开始后的5分钟，这15分钟是我最紧张的时候。所以，其实克服上台紧张对我来说一直都不是一个非常困难的事情。只要我在下面就是练得还不错。
Actually, to me, the most stressful part is not the actual performance, but the 10 minutes right before the performance. But to deal with the stress, it isn't really very difficult for me. I just know I have practiced enough. I've practiced well, and that gives me strength to know that I will do well.
Yes.
I think we completely agree and understand, empathize. Thank you all so much for being with us. I think our audience, I'm sure they really enjoyed getting to know you better. And I know that they're looking forward to your next performances. So rest well, have a good night's sleep, and we really hope to see you again on the stage.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sponsorem programu jest PKN Orlen, mecenas 18